So this guy would host these shows wherever they would let him. So he did them at like clothing stores and cafes and stuff. And eventually he had to move out of his house, so he just moved into a warehouse and started going shows there, and eventually became a venue. And he stopped living there because living in a warehouse is not good. You don't want to live in a warehouse. Technically it was illegal too. You're not allowed to live. Yeah. And it became a registered nonprofit arts venue somehow.
So your life change term is maybe 16 or 17 years old.
I what? What was that?
You changed the.
Oh, my first.
Yes.
I changed my own.
Yes.
Thoughts. Well, I mean, when life always changes. Every decision you make changes your life somehow. So it's hard to look back and say. But yeah, in retrospect, I think I was a late bloomer. I was like 19. And basically everything in my life can be traced back to that guy who introduced me to noise music. You know?
That guy?
Not my friend. No, there was another guy. Me and my friend who wore this helmet before I ever made this, we had been making like stupid sounds on the computer. We've been like, let's try to re-edit YouTube videos to make them sound as awful as possible, you know? And we did that kind of thing. We were just like trying to make glitch sounds. Just like for fun. We uploaded them to MySpace. Yeah. We just like were laughing at everybody who came on and was like, this is the worst sound ever, what's wrong with you? Why did you do this? So I met this other guy who told me that he did live noise music. And I'm like, the stupid funny thing that I'm doing on my computer, there are people who do it live. I should come up with a way to do it live. Like he told me he did this, and like that night I was like, okay, how can I do this live? How do I make the worst sounds possible but live? I can put a microphone on my hand and smash it. That's what I'll do. And maybe I should smash it on my face too. And I happen to be taking a welding class at school at the same time. So I made this. I don't know. And for like 4 years, he smashed shit on his face while wearing this. That's why it was a lot cleaner than I first made it. It had more stuff too. Stuff falls off all the time. Yeah.
そういうこと。せっかくですから、田島さんお得意な政治の話。
政治の話。
青山さん。
Change the story. How do you think the new president Trump? Do you like him? Laughing.
Really, what do you think? You saw my car, right? I still have a Bernie bumper sticker on my car. I actually hosted a fundraiser for Bernie Sanders.
Oh, Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. At the venture compound, we had a fundraiser for him. We raised about $300 for his campaign. But a lot of good that did us, right? Actually.
よく聞こえなかったけど、なんか彼の車にバーニー・サンダースのスティッカーがあったり、それはなんか彼をプッシュしてたのかな。
これだ、バーニーだ。
そう。 ね。
バーニー・サンダース。
バ
Right?
ーニー・サンダース。
Yeah.
うん
Obsolete bumper stickers.
ね
From a better alternate universe.
なんかちょっと質問をね考えて
But yeah, no, we're actually having a protest show. I've gone to a few protests since Trump won the election, and we're having a protest show at the Winter Compound on January 20th, which is the day that he's being inaugurated, like the day he's being sworn in and all that, the official start of the apocalypse. Day one of the end of the world. So, we're having a show adventure that night with all the proceeds going to the ACLU and Planned Parenthood, which the ACLU is like a civil rights organization, so they help defend like if someone's, let's say somebody is fired from their job for being black or something, like a racist person fired for being black or being queer or something like that, the ACLU is an organization that will defend them and fight for them, and they're gonna have a lot of shit to be fighting in the next 4 years. And that's why I drink.
ああ、じゃあ、ショーで残ったやつ。
Yeah, it's really scary.
うん。
It's very scary.
What's the most scary of the things?
About Trump?
Yes.
Right. So I'm talking to people from Japan. He has his nuclear launch codes, right? Like that's he's a whiny baby, and he like on New Year's Eve New Year's Eve, he posted on Twitter, "Happy New Year's to all my enemies."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's how much of a narcissist, arrogant, thin-skinned crybaby who has nuclear launch codes and thinks that's great. He what did he say? A while ago he said like Japan should have nukes. Like not they should be nuked, but that they should have them, and like Saudi Arabia should have nukes, and like everybody should just have them so that it's equal playing field or whatever. But we spent 50 years trying to dismantle nukes, trying to have less in the world. We don't want more. And I mean, that's scary. Is even barring like even let's say, I mean, probably he's not going to nuke anyone. Most likely he's not actually going to use nukes because there's enough checks and balances. There's enough like if he tries to nuke a country, there'll be somebody standing there going, "Donald, that's not a good idea. No, don't do that." And there'll be like enough of those that he's probably not going to actually nuke him. Like it's scary that he has nukes, but he's still probably going to end the world because he doesn't believe in global warming. That kind of thing.
I see.
Yeah, like he thinks that's a myth. He puts global warming denier in charge of the Environmental Protection Agency. Like, that's what he wants to do. He wants to have a racist attorney general. Who else did he appoint? Secretary of State, who is CEO at ExxonMobil. You know, so the guy that runs an oil company, he wants to be Secretary of State. So, you know, he's just gonna, like, do you know about the Dakota Access Pipeline? Did you hear about that? Dakota, in the Standing Rock tribe in North America, in North Dakota. The state, North Dakota. There was
the long pipeline.
yeah, there was an oil pipeline,
I see.
and it was supposed to go through one city, but the white people there didn't want it. So the government rerouted it, and the company, the oil company, rerouted it. They changed it to go through Native American reservation. Yeah, Standing Rock, and it like was supposed to go dangerously close to their water, so that if any oil leak ever, it would basically make like it would go straight into their drinking water. And they protested for months. They like stood outside, the Native Americans up there. They stood outside in sub-zero temperatures, freezing weather, and the police and the National Guard and all these fuckers came in, and they, you know, full like SWAT riot gear, like military-style police with tanks, and they sprayed water on the protesters. And they shot them with like rubber bullets. You know, rubber bullets. It's like non-fatals, but really painful. Like beanbags and flashbang grenades. You know, like the kind that just make a big pal but aren't really dangerous, but they're still kind of dangerous. Yeah. So this was the U.S. government and taxpayer money spending who knows how much money and time for the U.S. military to defend an oil company's, you know, right to use that land. And eventually, finally, Obama and his administration kind of like they denied access to the land temporarily, or they something like that. But as soon as Trump gets in, he's just gonna roll that back, you know. He's gonna be like, okay, now you can go. Yeah, and that's just scratching the surface. I could go on for hours about what's scary about Trump. It's yeah, there's a lot. It's not good for the country. It's not good for the planet.
そんなもんで。
はい。
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
Thank you, Florida, St. Petersburg.
Petersburg
Vallam.
organizer.